and converts into the manure. And also it can enrich with the required nutrients, maybe micronutrients or any of them. And now the research is on to fortify the microbial fertilizers, biofertilizers.
So,
So that is the so that's a one.
Nagaraji, is this technology commercialized?
It is in commercial use now, recently launched on December, and we are implementing in Karnataka state in a bigger way now.
As you know, Australia is agriculture hub. You know, it's a big agriculture industry here.
Correct.
Government is now going through a big phase in changing the whole agriculture sector. Especially, they want to move towards organic and also a less meat-based scenario. So at the moment, you have industry which is producing more meat, and the pressure is coming from vegan industry. In Australia now, 1 out of 5 people are going vegan, so they don't eat any animal product. So this type of your product can be very helpful to increase the revenue of farmers in Australia. But farms here in Australia are quite big farms, not small. One people can have hundreds of acres of land and run by 1 or 2 people. So when I was saying commercialization, that's what I mean. Can it be used by big farms in Australia?
Very much, sir. The slight modification is required. The research is on to fit into the harvesting machines. One side there will be a harvesting going on. So at the same time, this machine can go along with this harvester and take this waste and connect into the manure and put back to the soil. So that can be a very, very ideal situation for any farming situation for that matter.
And you have an intellectual property in India or worldwide?
Yes. For India, I have.
For India, you have. Nagaraji, what I'll do, once we finish, I will discuss with you how we can expand this technology to Australia.
Sure,
what
sir.
support.
It's my pleasure. Since I am receiving 1 hour today, I have to leave the meeting a little early. So I was requesting Ravi ji to permit me to go little leave early. So we will catch up later, sir.
जो भी सम्मान मिलता है हमारे साथ शेयर करिए, जाने देंगे आपको.
Ravi ji, can we have one small question to Nagaraja?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Morning to all of you. Mr. Nagaraj, when I was listening that you have some, products converted to manure. Do you have any machinery which particularly that is needed in the northern India, Haryana, Punjab, Delhi? This, straw of this paddy. For this conversion of this, because it's the biggest problem in North India, and Supreme Court is also going after this because this is creating huge pollution. So do you have any arrangement, because the governments are in a dire search for this, if they can provide some alternative?
In one sentence, the answer is yes. But how does Haryana government take it?
It is the ready solution, sir. What product we have?
See, every third year in Sydney, you have a forest fire. This product can eliminate forest fire. Same way, whatever problem Haryana is facing, which Supreme Court is discussing, if somebody can inform the Supreme Court, invite Nagaraj, that will be better.
Nagaraj can't be anywhere and everywhere. We can produce a small video that can be circulated, and that is the right way to approach and reach out to everybody with website.
Okay, sir. That is free also.
Secondly, Ravi ji.
Haji.
there can be one alternative because either some the PIL comes on hearing, or one application can be filed from the side of Mr. Nagaraj, because Supreme Court's job is not to invite for meetings and everything. They only hear the cases before them, or new cases anybody can file.
Okay, you can talk to Nagaraj ji.
Yeah.
And share the two numbers.
Right. I think that is the best thing.
Yeah. And then he has got videos and everything. It is all going around. So he can answer those questions. Correct.
Kindly share his number so that I can find out way to, so that this works in the national interest.
In 2 minutes, I am sharing your number with him.
Thank you so much.
Nagaraj ji, can you say some other product that you are having?
Oh, sure. The next one is Bhumitra, which analyzes the soil. For every one parameter, it just takes 30 seconds. It's a very portable machine. We can take it to the field and then analyze the soil. So that's called Bhumitra. And then I have 72 brands for agricultural improvement, all in a non-toxic range, organic ranges for all the crops, for all the problems. So that I am doing since last 20 years. And the next one is called Trishul. Trishul is the one which converts this urban cooking gas in electricity and manure. So this is called Trishul. And next one I am coming out is called Arogya Mitra, which can analyze the heavy metals, pesticide residues in the food grains, fruits, vegetables, and things. So this is brief about my innovations. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
आवाज आ रहा है सर?
Yes, Ara.
I heard.
Hello.
I think it's better, Ravi ji, if you can have one session for Nagaraj. It's not fair to give him only 2 minutes. And before that, we can have all the research,
Now
whatever.
we'll formally start with our program.
Ask for a specific answer and expand.
Hello.
Like Nagaraj, we have a few more
Sir,
scientists.
I will rejoin. I think there is some problem with my audibility.
Okay. Now we'll go
hear.
to our main subject, that is business between India, Australia, and overseas Indians. Indian diaspora anywhere. We have people coming from Malaysia, Singapore, and all. So they may be interested in joining hands with Australia to enrich their companies in their country. So it is as time is short. If people already have some questions to ask Yatindra Gupta, that will be very good. It will save all the time. Otherwise, he'll be telling A for apple is Australia, then U for umbrella is Australia. Like that, it should not go. So, if somebody has questions, straight away we ask the questions and then we will learn. So, I request you, without losing time, if somebody can post 2-3 questions to Yatindra, then he'll start from there. किसी को कुछ पूछना है ऑस्ट्रेलिया के संदर्भ में, व्यापार के संदर्भ में?
नमस्ते जी, श्रीहरि जी बोल रहा हूँ जापान से।
हाँ, बहुत अच्छा जी, अरे फैंटास्टिक।
नमस्ते जी, या मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है। हाँ, नमस्ते जी। अब ऑस्ट्रेलिया में अब नया रेगुलेशंस आ रहे हैं एनवायरमेंटल सेक्टर में। Australia is adopting new regulations. It has adopted very recently on groundwater. For last 2 years, the EPA of Australia is actively working on bringing new regulations, and they are strictly imposing that on groundwater contamination issues. because you know Australia is it needs a lot of water, and there has been a lot of issues in supplying the groundwater or drinking water. So we are trying to enter the Australian market because they just formed the regulation. They don't have many technologies in cleaning the groundwater. So we are the expertise in that. So if you have any, we can work together in any way. Please let me know.
Sure.
Is there any way that you have any contact with the EPA or any other environmental sectors there or the companies?
Okay. I have written your questions and I will try to address. Then this is more specific. We'll
बाकी लोग भी अपना प्रश्न पूछिए.
Hello, my name is
Yeah.
Arun Joshi. I am joining from Malaysia, Penang. Namaskar, sir.
नमस्कार.
So my question is very generic. When you discuss these opportunities in Australia, please also discuss specifically opportunities that are outside this, Sydney, Melbourne area like Victoria or NSW.
अरुण जोशी, आपका थोड़ा चेहरा 1 मिनट के लिए दिखाएंगे तो अच्छा रहेगा. प्रश्न पूछने वाले को भी थोड़ा आसान रहता है कनेक्टिविटी के लिए.
जी जी.
हाँ, धन्यवाद.
कुछ थोड़ा टाइम लग रहा है.
ठीक है, बाद में हम देख लेंगे. Anybody else wants to ask question? हाँ जी, हाँ.
No, sir.
अरुण जोशी, धन्यवाद. Okay. Are you from Kuala Lumpur now joining?
I'm in Penang, sir, right now.
Penang. Okay.
Yeah.
Penang, when I visited Penang, I stayed in some Joshi's house. He was a Gujarati Joshi.
Yeah,
I'm
sir. यहाँ पर
40 years before.
जी जी, यहाँ पर hundreds of year old कृष्ण जी का मंदिर है और गुजराती कम्युनिटी अपना strong है.
You are connected with that मंदिर, huh?
Yeah. So next time you are here, then अभी तो I am working as an engineer in Intel. AI, deep learning, machine learning domain में मेरा काम है.
ठीक है.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Anybody else wants to ask some question? यतीन्द्र जी, आप शुरू कीजिए.
जी, आप भी पूछ सकते हो तो.
जब आप कुछ बोलेंगे तो फिर प्रश्न तैयार हो जाएंगे. आप 10 मिनट बोलिए, फिर प्रश्न आएंगे, फिर 10 मिनट बोलिए, फिर प्रश्न आएंगे.
अच्छा, तो एक काम करते हैं कि इसको we'll have a talk in English. I believe that will be good for everybody.
Yeah.
I can speak in Hindi and English both. Firstly, I want to say our co-presenter Chirag Trivedi ji could not make it.
Please mute all your. Mute all. अभी हमारे Who is the host here?
Host here.
The host here, please, unmute.
Yes.
Okay. Yatinder ji, carry on.
Good morning, यतीन जी.
जी.
मेरा नाम मल्लिका है. मैं from Pune, India. So I also have 1 or 2 questions, sir, for you. Australia means, we some industries. So already India may be here. I would like you to highlight a few industries which are not so popular in India, but where we can do business with Australia, which are quite popular in Australia, and where we can have a lot of exchange of trade in those fields. I would like you to highlight those opportunities where we can encash our talent and make use of it in Australia.
So Malka ji, what exactly you do?
Sir, for instance, I would like to tell ki Australia, I know it's all covered by sea on all sides. It's an island, okay? But there are also land and which are open, maybe desert area or this thing, but the land is fertile. There are a lot of minerals. So mining opportunities hai kya wahan pe? What are the opportunities for mining? What are those minerals which can be available where we can?
Okay, so Malka ji,
more business.
Okay, so Malka ji, if I may ask you again, what you exactly, then I can frame my answer as per your need. What do you do? What do you are an industry, you are a
No, I'm not an
technical
industrialist. I'm a retired banker. But while in service, I used to deal with several types of industries and sanctioning loans to different projects and all. So I have handled many types of industries, exports,
consider you,
all types. So, yes.
so you are like a business consultant. You can advise people, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So basically, your question is opportunities in Australia.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now I will start, Raviji, with
please.
our Chirag ji. Chirag ji could not make it. He is traveling from Melbourne back to Adelaide. And so please accept his apologies. He had advised people on almond farming and olive oil manufacturing setup in around Adelaide. So Australia, as you know, 6th largest country in the world, and the population of Australia is only 25 million. The economy of Australia is $1.3 trillion. It's, I think, the 6th or 7th largest economy of the world. The most, Malka ji, this is for you. Australia is quite big in mining. We export around $60 billion of iron ore, around 40 billion in coal, petroleum, gas. This is the main export of Australia, and remain in agriculture products. Remaining thing we almost import: car, furniture, computers, phones, you name it, everything. So this is roughly the economy of Australia. We have at the moment, like any country, our government in Australia is pushing for Atmanirbhar Australia indirectly. Here the labor cost is too high. That's why we cannot do a lot of things. If I can address this question as well on the way, opportunities in the regional area. So the biggest town in Australia are Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Perth, and Adelaide. Darwin is a second tier, I would say. But in regional area, there are few things which I will say as a fact, and then we'll talk about opportunities in regional area. So in regional area, normally we have farmers and Aboriginal people of Australia. We have shortage of labor in regional area. Of course, Australian land, especially coastal area of Australia, is quite fertile. But Australian manufacturers, farmers, government were not successful in any addition in raw material, which is, say, wheat, whatever agriculture products. So if suppose anybody can bring the technology and have a bit of semi-processed solution within Australia, and then you can export that product back to anywhere in the world. This is one of the big opportunity, and government of Australia is paying 25% of machine and installation cost, whatever anybody invest in Australia. So suppose you have a, say, $10 million is the cost of your plant plus installation. The government of Australia will pay $2.5 million cash in your hand. And then almost this whole project can be depreciated in 1 or 2 years' time if you want. So it's not like you are waiting for a long time. The company tax rate here is 25%. So if you write off this whole lot, and you will not be paying tax for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, depends on what the numbers you have. Government will also allow for you to get your labor as well. So the problem which we have is the labor, but you can get this labor from anywhere in the world, but you have to pay Australian labor rates. Here, minimum rate, suppose just consider roughly, say, $60,000 per annum. 60. This is you have to pay to each and every employee. So before you venture into Australia, you must consider any plan which is less manpower required. If you have a heavy manpower requirement, then you will have big difficulty in Australia. So if you're writing my whatever I'm saying, please write down these things. If anybody want to see the opportunity in Australia, please run through the whole lot and make sure you have properly considered labor cost in Australia. Okay, so regional area got big opportunity. It's towards the east side of Australia, from Melbourne to Brisbane. They have a big project, around $8 billion inland rail project inland. So this connecting all the regional area. They want to reach to all the Asian market within 18 hours. So from pickup of the crop or fruit, reaching to, say, Singapore in 18 hours. This is their goal. Now think about that. If you can process something like a milk or, say, orange, avocado, any nuts, processes, do something and ship them to any region. So this is the dedicated freight train route. Start from Melbourne, going up to Brisbane. If anybody knows the geography of Australia, you will know how it will work. If you need to know anything further, I'm happy to help. So I have answered about the opportunities in regional area, but you mentioned about Nagaraji water treatment, or somebody else was, they have water treatment. Water treatment could be another good opportunity in Australia. As you know, Australia is the driest continent. We have water shortage, but it's not like Arab, like Saudi Arabia or so forth. It's not like that. But we have each and every city got desalination plant as well. Well, not every, but Sydney got, Melbourne also got. But if we have a good water purification.
Sorry, Yatinji. Sorry for interrupting you. This is Dr. Srihari from Tokyo. I asked about the groundwater. So my question was entirely different. You are talking about a desalination. That is not the part we are talking about. I told you recently, EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, Australia, Okay, they brought in new laws, groundwater regulation laws that prevents industries from contaminating the groundwater. Now, if the industries are contaminating the groundwater, they will be asked to clean that. And Australia yet have no such low-cost technology yet. I'm talking about the groundwater. So if any industries, their environmental firm, if you are aware of if you have any contact with the environmental firms, and if they are interested in entering the groundwater remediation market, then I am there to provide the technology and the engineering. That's what I was talking about.
Okay, so thanks for interrupting. I will come back to your thing, because I was not actually addressing your question, but let me address your question now. We do not have any law as such, because the government of Australia is signing all these, as you said, all these new regulations are coming, right? The pollution of water in Australia is not much either, because they are very restrictive in this nature from day one. It's not, if I can, with due respect for Indian environmental law, whatever, if you compare with Indian water pollution, groundwater pollution, Australia is not. But
again, sorry for interrupt you. Again, I have been working with Australian companies for last 10 years, and I know there are so many sites, they are highly contaminated, and we have given proposal on that.
Okay, so say I'll tell you, I know from where you're coming. You know, when we had a Sydney Olympic, that area was very contaminated area. It was all water, like a lake water type of thing. They keep on cleaning it now. Okay, the Sydney Olympic was one of the highly graded, environmental friendly, all those things did happen. So they are keep on cleaning, but it's water table as such goes. In my opinion, I'm not that much aware. I'm not a specialist in this area, but definitely it will be my pleasure to come back to you and give you a specific answer. And if I could be any help, certainly I will do that as well. It's not my cup of tea, if you want to say.
Okay, Yatinji, thank you. But just to brief you, Australia has a lot of groundwater contamination coming from the mining sector, petrochemical sector, and all this sector I am aware of. I have seen the sites. I have personally visited the site, so I'm aware of that. So if you have any friends in that circle, we would be happy to provide the technology. That's the thing. Thank you.
If Sri Hariji, if I can say, I can reach out to even a minister. I can reach out to anybody. And that's what I was saying. I can have a further discussion with you. And
Shri Hariji, I will share both of your phone numbers so that details can be worked out. Yatinji Gupta ji is a very active Sangha Karyakarta, and Dr. Shri Hari is also an active Sangha Karyakarta.
So, if educate me, Shri Hari ji, it will be my immense pleasure, and then I will give my 100% for your solution, because you're going to do so much good for Australia, and I have very high regard for you. I can tell you that. I will do anything, but you need to educate me on that. Okay?
Yes, sure. Thank you.
So let's go to other opportunities in Australia, which Malika ji's question was. So, as I said, Australia is not a big economy as if you look at the population part, but it's a $1.3 trillion economy, and GDP per capita is $55,000, 55,000, and gross income is $51,000. So you can call it a rich country if you want to. What it means, Australia need all type of product or services. I would say they are not manufacturing much within Australia. We are depending highly on everything on China. This is the bare fact of today. And that's why China is really talking in the terms which they should not be talking. Very unprofessional, bullying, whatever you want to say. So Australia got, in my opinion, a lot of opportunity, but you don't have much economy of scale. Let's start from here. They want good quality product. The shipping costs got to be managed, and then you have to have a good consistency of the supply. Now, if you convert into the answer for what are the opportunities in Australia, let's talk about, say, I think this could be a very good solution. Number one, in my opinion, two-wheelers. Two-wheelers in Australia, if you compare with the price we pay in India, I don't know, can we still buy a motorbike for 100,000 rupees? Raviji?
Pardon?
Can we buy a motorbike in India for 100,000 rupees? 1 lakh rupees mein, can we buy a motorbike? No.
No.
How much we pay for motorbike in India? I'm talking
Somebody
about
should.
I'm talking about
It's less than that.
a starting price.
60,000, 70,000. It's around 50 to 60,000 rupees.
Motorbike.
60, 65,000.
I think you are not audible, sir.
Can you hear me now?
Now, yes.
Yeah. Yes. Go ahead, sir.
Can you hear? Okay. So my question was, how much retail price for any motorcycle or scooter in India?
It's around from 50,000 to 65,000 rupees.
So that will be a petrol vehicle. Petrol vehicle, and that to the minimum model.
I'm talking about the starting point, very starting point.
Yes.
It's 50,000, 50 to 55.
So say 1,000 rupees, $1,000 Australian dollar.
What is one Australian dollar is equal to rupees? 30?
55 rupees.
50 rupees. Okay.
55.
Yeah.
$1,000 you can buy this bike or scooter, right?
Okay.
In Australia, you will be paying around $4,000, $5,000. Now, this is a quite big industry. Why? Because now Australians are going more into using these two-wheelers. They have now, there used to be time there was no even parking for motorbike or scooters. Now they are separate parking slot for them and so forth. So this is one industry, in my opinion, could be explored. And there, repair, maintenance, and all tire and all the industry will grow from there. Second one is I heard there's a lot of electronic vehicles are getting manufactured in India. Australia could be a good market for them as well. Number three, motor part manufacturing and supply. So people are buying from anywhere they can buy from India. Motor parts. Okay. It can have a wheel, tire, all those things. The fourth one is agriculture equipment. All those See, at the moment, Australia is getting all those things, but they are very expensive. So all those big machinery, agriculture big machinery, I heard in if you compare between India and Australia, the price difference is quite big. So
What was the first one you had talked of?
Sorry?
What was the first one you had talked of? First in the list?
Motorbike and scooters.
Scooters. No, it was second one. Electrical vehicles you had mentioned.
Yeah, electric vehicle as well. Battery,
You had
electric.
mentioned four. You had mentioned four. So one was agricultural equipment, second was spare parts of motors, third one was electrical vehicles. What was the fourth one? Sorry?
Motor car as well, electrical vehicle.
Motor cars. Okay, okay.
Spare parts. Spare parts.
No, he had talked of motor cars and spare parts. Those were the two different points I mentioned. Thank you.
Okay, so now the next list is, you might know, Sydney got trains from India. Driverless trains from India. You want me to repeat again? So Sydney got driverless metro, and they came from India. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure this technology maybe, I think it's a French technology came in. I do not know much, but every city is going to have the same solution here. If somebody is big in our network, they can target this type of supply, or they can target the total solution as well. Right? Now, I'm pretty sure people are selling garments already to Australia. But what is also possible, this is my next segment I want to really talk. In Australia, we do a lot of R&D. It's a body called CSIRO. CSIRO. There's a lot of technology, but that technology is not financially feasible. And what they do, they put on the side, on the shelf, what they call. If anybody who want to commerce, so they have the technology, but the cost of optimization and cost of commercialization is too high in Australia. So this could be a totally different market for somebody who want to explore into that and who got expertise in optimization and commercialization of the technology. It could be very big market in Australia. It's very expensive. A lot of technology in Australia really get failed because they do not have economic feasibility to optimize and commercialize it. You want me to repeat that part? Nobody is asking any question on that because this is something can be done, and you will not find any competition either here. You might have somebody you can put a bit of software solution, something modeling and dyeing of something and make it happen. Ravi, do you have anybody who play in this type of area where people can optimize and commercialize the technology?
Actually, I'm basically a chemical engineer. I'm Vijay Savarkar talking from Vapi, Gujarat, India. Actually, I'm into recovery of chemical from industrial effluents. We develop technology and give turnkey solutions on that.
Okay.
So, but you need to have huge quantity of effluent and very high total dissolved solids, which can be recovered in pure forms. So probably when you had mentioned that there is hardly industrialization, or probably I might have joined a bit late, so I may not be aware. I'm interested in some chemical industries which emit effluents with higher pollution potential. So higher the potential, better is the recovery, better is the payback period. I mean, we recover the technology. I mean, we develop the technology to the level that the final output is pure chemical from the effluent, which can be sold in the market or which can be used as a raw material or some product. Okay. So
So
it
you,
has,
so can I ask you, Vijayji, you have
yeah,
a polluted water, and out of that polluted water, you can take out the chemical.
right.
Okay.
With lot of R&D, it's very long process, obviously, but it's possible.
No, I'm not denying. I'm just, I don't need to know everything. I'm just asking what a simple question
So
you have.
as far as the point which you had raised of commercialization of technology, probably I may be interested in that.
Yeah.
If it is related to chemical engineering, again, I'm basically a chemical engineer.
Now. Okay,
So it needs to be related to chemicals and chemical engineering.
So
in
basically,
case of
anybody who
please.
wants to do in commercialization and optimization of the technology, they got to have a setup. They got to have a budget to take the technology, sign the agreement,
right.
optimize commercial, and then you sell the technology and the product worldwide. This is how it will work.
Right.
Okay. So let's go to the other one. So optimization and commercialization, right?
Thank you.
And now the other one is now telemedicine. Australia is quite, as you know, quite big country. We have very, very, very small villages. Sometimes the population is only 100 in that, maybe 10 people in that one village. And they need, everybody need hospital type of some medical solution. Not the whole hospital, but suppose somebody got fever, somebody got a small rashes here and they want to get some treatment. Do we have any solution in India for that type of thing? I'm talking about telemedicine, perhaps.
So we are starting that in India from next month, telemedicine. In Mumbai, we are just putting some doctors with us in their specific field, and they will be guiding or if somebody asks them, they will give the solution to their ailments. And we are also having contact with some labs and all. So we are just starting that from next month. Yeah.
So have you got any at the moment or not? Or you are under trialing?
No, no. We are just making the software right now.
Just making. Okay.
We are just getting starting in this way. Yeah.
Okay. Now in Australia we have some technology happening, but I thought if we have something from India, we can do it.
Already a lot of people in Bangalore, they are clubbed with various hospitals and doctors in USA.
Yeah. Okay. And so they are providing telemedicine solution?
Yeah.
I'd love to hear from them if it can be done. If they are connected with America, I think it will have a lot of good response in Australia, in my opinion.
Very good.
Namaskar, Yatinji. This is Nachiket Deshpande here. We have developed a platform which is has a capability to have specialized further investigations that could be done remotely, which include functionalities like kind of a CT scan and or the Doppler scan that is required, also the endoscopy, 3D modeling, so that the patient need not be brought to the center, but such kits could be remotely given to the these centers or primary healthcare centers, and doctors can monitor the condition of patient and treat him remotely. So this is another aspect of telemedicine that we have worked on, and successfully the technology and platform is developed and ready with us.
So if I can understand, in Australia, we have a place called Mori, right? They have a small hospital, but they do not have, say, CT scan.
Yes.
Would you have any solution for those people?
So what this will do is it has a Doppler plus scanning processes involved. The instruments get connected to a tablet and mobile phones, and this could be communicated to remote people, and they can assess and give the exact diagnosis. So there are two parts to any medical examination. One is the availability of instruments and the experts to man the instrument and give the exact result. So both these things are important. We are trying to solve the first problem by tying up with multiple solution providers which create these instruments, and we create a channel for them to connect with the expert. So this system is already developed and ready with us. We can demonstrate this with you, and we would be happy to tie up with suitable interested people who can run this.
Ravi, if you can please connect with this Panditji.
Yeah,
I would like to know more so that I can really, what I'm actually trying to achieve through this our event today, to really work on real solution, not just talk big, and go home and do nothing. I really want to do something which can be helpful for anybody. Okay. Perhaps I forgot to address that I'm an accountant here. I'm also Indian Chartered Accountant, and also I'm FCPA, which is like a CPA, like CA in India, it's called CPA here. So I'm FCPA as well here. I got my accounting firm. So this is my job, to help my client and other people to help them to grow into Australia. Just my dire wish, if I can say, to connect SME of India and SME of Australia together as much I can do through my own network, through my political connectivity, whatever I can do. It will be my immense pleasure to do so. Okay, so this is my small introduction so that you will know who I am. But I want to actually achieve something from today's event, that if I could be any help and make it real, happen something to somebody, not just talk and go home. Just the point. So anybody can ask me any question. Raviji can also pass it on my telephone or whatever detail they need. And so I know that time is about to finish and Raviji will close. But if I cannot answer all the questions today, please get detail from Raviji, and it will be my immense pleasure to help you. Okay. So telemedicine is one thing which is quite much needed, required today in Australia. We are not able to provide health-related support to all the Australian living in Australia. So this is, perhaps you can say, it's like a demand and supply thing. If you have demand here, you don't need to worry about it. You can supply the solution, right? Now, you might have heard education part. A lot of Indian students come to Australia for education. Actually, they come for, you can call it immigration as well. But education, this is something what I call human resource development, so that we can supply human resource to Australia, which is skilled. So if you skill Australian, if you skill Indian labor as per Australian standard, it could be a good supply for those people who are providing training, a solution to Indian students. It's called vocational training. To train them, and you can then supply those people or supply the solution from India to Australia. This could be quite big achievement, and I'm actually very passionate about this one as well. I believe the way Modi is trying to increase farmer income, one of the people who are left behind is unskilled labor in India. And if you can make them skilled in power tools, the GDP of country will shoot up more than 5 trillion very quick. So anybody who is a vocational training provider in India, they can train their staff on all those power tools and so forth, and made it happen. And Australian, there's a number of institutes here they can provide. So on this note, I just want to touch just quickly on if anybody is already yeah.
Can I interrupt? यहाँ मल्लिका जी है, and she knows the director of skill development college, skill development university of Haryana. That is the first skill development university in India. The director Raj Nehru is known to her.
Okay.
So if you want, you can talk to the director directly.
Okay. Okay. Ravi, just quickly, I want to touch on the structures in Australia where anybody who is doing.
Just 1 minute, Yatin ji. For your information, ये जो program है, I am recording this entire program. So the program, even after it is over, those who have missed joining today, I will be sending the recording in the group, and others who are not attending the program now also will be able to listen to your talk and the guidance that you're giving. So it will be very useful for many people, even after this program ends.
Yeah, it's my immense pleasure if I could be any help.
Yes. Thank you so much.
You just repeat your phone number so that it will be recorded.
So my telephone number is
so that I can ask you for the recording.
Hello.
Yes. So my telephone number, I will give you my direct telephone number, my mobile telephone number. That's what I can do. +61 421.
Just give it orally so that it will be recorded. +61.
Yeah, I'll repeat. +61 421 590 791.
Okay, continue.
Okay, so I just want to touch on structures in Australia. A lot of people actually missed out when they are dealing with any Australian entity. If anybody who is dealing already with the Australian entity, please watch very carefully who they are. If they are a company, see what is their ABN number. ABN, Australian Business Number. And you can check on the website whether that ABN is correct or not. Okay. If you are getting into partnership with somebody here, please make sure what you are signing for. Like in any country, if you're not educated enough, please get educated. Here things are very simple, not as difficult the way we have in India. I am just comparing between India and Australia. Here you can form a company in 10 minutes. I'll repeat if you want to say, you can form a company in Australia in just 10 minutes. One director required, and you can have one shareholder only, and you can form the company. We do not need to have article of association, memorandum of article here in Australia. No need. When we have Corporations Act in 2000, it's all eliminated. We also do not have object clause in Australia. So once you form the company, and this company can do whatever it wants to do. You don't need to go to what we call ASIC here, like ROC in India. It's called ASIC, ASIC. So it's very simple here. You don't need to worry about everything is online. Normally, people form a company, but people can have family trust type of a structure as well. And any individual can also work as a business. But generally, you will be dealing with companies called PTY Limited. So say, for example, my accounting firm is called Forbes Accounting and Business Consultant PTY Limited. It's a normal form. So hope this will help you as well. Now, anybody can import in Australia also. So in Australia, they do not need to have import license, generally. Now, if you are importing, so if I, Yatinder, want to import drugs, I have to have license. Alcohol, tobacco, I need to have license. Otherwise, if suppose I'm getting say garment, I don't need to have any import license in Australia. Okay. The travel, somebody mentioned they are in travel. Actually, travel is now online. Everything is online. In my opinion, you can expand to any country. If you have local partner, you can make something more Aussie looking, because Australian people want to deal with a company who are sort of based in Australia. They have local phone number, local address. They would love to deal with that company. So that if that travel consultant, if they want to expand to Australia, they can do in such a manner that this company looks and feel like in Australia. Somebody can answer the call, and then you can sell your travel product to Australians. Australian travel a lot. They have like a ritual that they have to go overseas. Unfortunately, in last year and this year, nobody will be able to go overseas, but it's a big market. So I have, I think, attended all the questions. If you have any other further questions, please let me know, because the time has crossed and I don't want to spoil anybody's evening or whatever. But if you have any questions, please ask me.
Yatinji, here connect Mr. Devang Acharya. He did some innovative idea for nature, water treatment, enzyme development, so many works doing. Devang bhai.
Yeah. Yatinji, basically, we are into we have manufacturing some sort of enzymes for septic cleaning, drainage cleaning, declogging of the drainage. So that's what we are into. At the same time, we are also into rainwater harvesting and all. We are based at Ahmedabad and we are doing business in Gujarat at present. But our enzymes go across India. So we can supply enzyme for hospitals and all, for hospital equipment cleaning also, so automobile separation of oil and water also. This is what we are into, basically.
So, Divyanji, do you sell to overseas as well? Do you export as well?
Yeah, we have not done it yet, but yes, we are interested in doing that.
I would like to know. I would like to know more about yourself, and if you can, you can send me detail, and then I will try to connect with somebody, which can be.
Our company, we have his name is Pavitra Environment, and everything is there on our website regarding the products and all.
Yeah. So please send me the link if you don't mind.
Yes, definitely, I'll send it.
Okay. Anybody else got any question or anything?
Yeah, namaste, Yatinji. I am Dr. Bhatt from Gujarat again.
Yep.
I am a scientist and an industrialist working in the field of marine chemicals.
Okay.
Saurashtra, all three sides are covered with sea, and we are the producer of the salt, common salt for 70% requirement of the country. And whatever the bittern, after removal of the common salt, the bittern is left out. We are working and recovering valuable chemicals from that. And Australia similarly have a sea around and salt production. So can
do you use chemicals to separate these chemicals, or this is something pure natural thing you do?
No, it's not natural only. There are renewable sources of energy, like after removal of salt, solar energy and wind energies are available in our region. And rainfall are very, very, very limited in our region. So we get a lot of bittern, left out of the salt, and that is treated with different chemicals to recover valuable chemicals like bromine and magnesium and manganese and so many others.
So my question is, you're solving one problem. Aren't you creating another problem by adding more chemical?
No, But because our pollution control laws are very stringent and we are zero discharge industry, so we don't discharge any sort of polluted water or chemical or gas in soil, water or in air. That is the technology we have developed.
Okay. So do you have this problem in Australia? Do you know that Australia got this problem?
No, I don't know, but I am aware that Australia is producer of salt, and you must be having lot of
So
bitter
Australia,
left.
yeah, Australia got the salt. Yeah, we manufacture, especially in the northeast of Australia. We have a quite a good production of salt. I know that.
And can we have a industries development for recovery of other chemicals other than common salt?
Of course, if we have a problem, because as I said, Australia does not manufacture much anything which create a lot of pollution. That's what I was saying. Australia, they did a lot of things wrong before, but now they are very tight on giving any approval to any industry who will pollute waterways or whatever. They're very tough. So that's why I was conscious about whether you know whether Australia got this problem or not. So if you know,
yeah, again, like Savarkar, Vijay Savarkar told, we are working on treatment of various type of industrial waste to recover again valuable products from that effluent.
Well, that's good. If I know more, then I'll come back to you.
Yashodhar bhai, will you just give me your number so that we can talk independently and don't disturb the group?
Yeah, Vijay bhai, nice to talk.
Probably we have met once or twice. We'll work together on that, on the recovery of chemicals.
Vijay ji, I will share it through Ravi Kumar ji. I will get your number from him also.
Okay. My number you can note down if possible. It is 98241.
Again.
Yeah.
98241.
56604.
566
04.
04. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is Vijay. I am from Vapi, Gujarat. You are from Bhavnagar, I suppose.
I am from Bhavnagar.
We have met a couple of times. We'll talk independently.
Yes, sir. But he is connected to Laghu Udyog Bharati and also Somnath Trustee.
I know.
Hello,
we know each other, but probably I had gone at the back mind of Dr. Yashodhar. But we'll talk later.
Hello.
Haji.
Hello, this is Asha Dave from Surat, sir. You mentioned about the human resource. So can you elaborate what sort of human resource, what sort of skills are required so that, because I am heading a university where 10,000 plus students are studying, so we can run a course on that, and if possible, we can have a tie-up.
So, Asha ji, thank you. I think it's a very good. A lot of so in Australia we call them tradies. Tradies mean plumber, bricklayer, electrician, tilers, all those type of people, right? Now, if I can tell you how much these people money they make, you will not even believe me. Plumber make more than even doctor can make in Australia. Plumber can make, or rather making more than what a doctor can earn. Okay. Similarly, bricklayer. So it's a very reputed profession if you want to tell your student in India. This is number one thing. Now, of course, these people cannot be compared with what we have in India. Let me be very frank with you. One person, one electrician will do so much job in one day here, he can't even comprehend. Why? Two reasons. Number one, they are educated. They are not just learn from somebody and start working. They are properly educated. They know the latest technology. And the second one is they have electrical tools with them, and they know how to use them and how to carry them properly. So they produce at least 20, 30 times more than what Indian tradie can do. So what it means, they have to learn how to use these tools and how to make more efficient to work. It's a cultural difference. So this whole thing can be trained. And then what will happen? People in Australia can get those people here and get the job done and send them back. Or if the immigration laws allows and so forth, they can be here living forever. Asadi, you know what I'm saying? Did you get my answer?
Yeah, but you said that they have to be trained for a system which is being run in Australia. So is there any kind of videos or training materials are available?
Of course. So, okay. So the number of are here is one of the men is called TAFE, TAFE, called TAFE, and they are the recognized government bodies which, but there are a number of private as well who can be helpful.
Yatendra ji, I can add one thing.
Yeah.
Ravi Kumar ji. See, those equipments which are in use in your country, and if you can get the second-hand ones at a cheap rate, maybe some of the institutions in India can buy it at a throwaway price, and they will be on par with the latest technology. Is it possible?
Okay. Again, Raviji, this is my very dream project. If I could do anything in this regard, I will do. Let's go to point number one. I tried on this project in India. It seems that we have a number of suppliers in India who are supplying this product. Now, when you have electronic items or electrical those called tools, it's very hard to really get them repaired in India and do something with them because technology change very fast. So in my opinion, don't worry about that second-hand tools. Get the first-hand tool, but the efficiency you will get out of this tool, Raviji, trust me, everybody will be laughing to the bank. It's so powerful. And if it is required, I'm happy to be part of this venture in India. And I can tell you, I don't want to do for profit making. I want to do, I will be doing it as a business, but I can tell you because I'm showing my confidence and I'm happy to invest with that. But somebody got to take a lead. Somebody got to have those unskilled labor, and this training can be provided on a video type of solution. They can watch the video and then start using the tools. And I have full business model with that, Asadi. If you want, I can share it. It can be done pure commercial, and everybody will make so much money out of it.
And sir, also mention that how much Australian dollars they are going to earn, because youth of India, they just go abroad to earn money and they try to return back after 50s. So that also you can, I would like to invite you in my university so that we can discuss.
Of course, see, I live in Sydney, and you can classify me also in the same category. I came here to make money. You can. I will not mind. I will not feel insulted. But the money which I mentioned to you at the start of this conversation, the money they will make is more than a doctor can make in Australia. A plumber, an electrician makes so much money. I don't know whether you got my answer or not, but this is what it is. Okay, but what I'm saying, Ashaji, is a whole business model. I'm happy to discuss with you and give you the solution because I did research in India because I wanted to do this thing, but I could not get the right person to even um, take it further. But this is one of the passionate things because this one step can take Indian economy from today 3 trillion to 6 trillion like anything. Because in India we have around 300 million people who could be in this category. Their revenue can triple like that.
Raviji, one request is to make a WhatsApp group so that we can discuss with each other, and even we can get the details of Yatinji and other people who are very who can be very useful for the future generation of India.
Yes, it is. It is not.
आशा जी अपना नंबर भेजिए, मैं करता हूँ. सभी के नंबर नहीं है मेरे पास. आज जितने लोग आए हैं, कुछ लोगों ने अपना नंबर दिया है, बाकी लोग भी देंगे तो मैं एक ग्रुप बना सकूंगा. Sorry, for the benefit of others, I can make a group provided I have your numbers. Many are new to me. Yeah.
I'm speaking on in chat box.
Yeah,
Please,
if
please
time
put it
permits,
on
can I
chat box.
ask one question? This is Dr. Leena.
हाँ लीना जी बोलिए.
जी,
डॉक्टर
sir,
लीना.
namaste.
Yeah.
I am academician, sir, and I had been listening to your lecture and this different aspects, business models and aspects from Australia. I just have a query: what prospects in social engineering research we have in with Australia?
Can you please highlight a bit more about social engineering? What do you mean by that? Because it got a different connotation.
Yeah. Because we had been working in a society and we need to, work in groups many times. So what are the prospects? How is the society over there and how is the social culture? So that some research prospect is there or so. I just wanted to know about it.
Okay, so
in the industries nowadays, social engineering is being taught. Being an academician, what sort of a research prospect is there?
Okay, so perhaps I may not be the right person to answer, but still I will answer irrespective. So you said what sort of a society we are here, right? This was the question, so that you can take it from there. Now, as I said, this is not a poor citizen society. People got money. Government look after them. If suppose somebody lose a job, they can go to government and government will pay till the time they don't have the job. When you are aged, people will look after you in aged care as well. If you're disabled, government will look after you. So this is a country, I think, in maybe few countries in the world who got this system. Our health system is free. So anybody, even if you got a brain cancer, open heart surgery, whatever, you don't need to pay even a cent. In hospital, you will get not only medicine, but even food. The Aboriginal people of Australia is one of the big, in my opinion, issue as a social dimension, which does not have much progress. So you can call them poor people, but government is spending billions of dollars on these Aboriginal people. These people die at the age of, their lifespan is 50, 60 at the max, and they die. And most of them are drugs, alcohol, domestic violence, and everything. Then you have a white Caucasian people who settled here before, but now you have Indians are more than around 600,000-700,000 people in the whole Australia. You have Chinese, you have Lebanese. Women got equal right. Lay, Gasmin, everybody, they don't even ask who is the father of the child. Suppose a child was born, they will not ask who is the father. So this is a society here. I don't know whether I have answered your question or not.
Oh, yes. So we have a prospects to work on for society to be independent, isn't it? Self-responsible, having a, a family culture like India, we have research prospects over there.
Okay, so let me say something. No, we do not have family like India. Here, if the child is 16-year-old, that child can kick his or her parents and go to the government and get the money. So the parents do not save money for children. We do not have family institution.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference between India and Australia. So in India, you will have family support.
Yeah.
in Australia, you will not have family support. Let me clarify very, very openly. I'm not saying which is right or wrong. I'm not in this position.
Let me put it in a humorous way.
Yeah.
If a child at the age of 16 stays with his parents, he does not get any pocket money from the government. But if he leaves the parents, he will get $1,000 per month. So what does a 16-year-old boy think? For $10, he has to request his father. If he stays with his parents, if he leaves the house, he gets $2,000. So one boy from this house, one girl from that house, one boy from the third house, and one boy from the girl from the fourth house. If they come out of the house and stay together, they have $8,000 in their pocket. They can easily rent a room. Nobody will question, why are you coming so late? Night 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, they can enjoy. Government provides it.
So is government willing to come out of this?
If they come out of it, see, solution to one problem takes you to another problem because they don't believe in family.
Leena
So
ji,
whatever
Leena
solution
ji,
they have is only temporary.
Leena ji, I think it's a quite good conversation. I want to thank you for raising this. Nobody has raised this type of thing. But I'll tell you one thing to conclude our call for today.
But even then, it's a very decent society. Australia is still a very decent society.
It's we have so much respect for each other. Like take my example. In my office, anybody, whether that my secretary is say 25-year-old, I have this culture. I'm talking about my own. I call her. So we have Indian culture, if you want to say. I will call her G. Her name is Sehetal. I will say Hetal Ji or Komal Ji. And when I'm asking her to do something, I will say, Hetal Ji, can you please do this thing for me? So I'm actually asking her, and she got 100% right to say, hey, Yatindra Ji, I'll come back to you in half an hour. I'm busy with something.
Oh.
So this is the culture we have. We have respect for each and everybody here, irrespective of
and
what
the
you do.
police in Australia is extremely humble and duty oriented. When a police comes to our house, in India we shiver. That means something is wrong with that house. But when a police comes to your house, a friend has come. The training that they give is fantastic.
If we have some social, if we have some social groups over there, then I have some modules by which we can just groom them to live with a self-responsibility rather than relying on, government and other entities. So we can traditionally academicians do that. Yeah.
Leena ji, this is my free advice to you. I think you got to know the whole society first, then you can really make claim on that. It's totally different. You will not even understand. Even if I try to explain you, it will take you
Yatindra ji, come back
time.
to business.
Yeah. Okay. So anyhow.
Back to business. Thank you, Yatin ji.
But that was also a business, by the way.
And
Yatin ji, good afternoon.
Yep.
Sampath speaking. Sorry, I missed out on the first part due to another meeting.
It's
I have
right,
a small information required from you.
Please.
See, now from the Atmanirbhar, Government of India under Modi has unveiled 2 defense corridors, one in the south and one in the north. connecting the very important corridors for defense production for self-reliance. In this context, because of the South China Sea and other problems, Australia, America, and the Quad, they are cooperating with each other. Now, is there a possibility of, number one, for our units which are now coming under the Atmanirbhar to supply to our army forces, number one. Second, they are now encouraged more than ever now to export also. So is there a possibility of business to business exports of defense items, number one? And second thing, reverse engineering, technology, TOT transfer, whether it is possible for the defense, so that our defense corridor goes up.
Somebody, can I ask
capacity to
you?
export.
Somebody, can I ask you what you do, please?
Yes, I am a chartered accountant in practice for 35 years. I have been on the boards of Life Insurance Corporation of India, which is the biggest in the country, having about 25 lakh crores investment. Then Punjab National Bank, Bank of India board. Then NABARD, Board of Supervision, NABARD controlling the entire cooperative sector. And finally, Modi ji appointed me to the Bharat Dynamics Limited, which is a missile technology unit. For 3 years, that was over in September. Through the cabinet, I was appointed. So then only I came to know a lot of relaxations in the defense has been made when Nirmala Sitharaman was there, and it continues. So a lot of scope is there, but how we go about it as far as Australia is concerned regarding TOT transfer and then be it business to business export prospects or vice versa. Is there any special body available for that?
Okay, so let me tell you a few things about Australia. In Australia, we have everything privatized except army, foreign services, and all those things.
Okay.
Defense sector got very big change just recently, a few months ago. Australia has launched $1 billion project to have long-range missiles in Australia. We never had, but now we are going to have. It happens because Mr. Trump did something. Mr. Trump ditched or broke all the treaties and so forth. Right? Now, what indication I'm getting, because I do not have a full understanding of the defense policy, but after discussing with you, I can find out more about it and let you know how the industry can work. But the point is, what do you want from Australia in this joint venture? Call it joint venture. Suppose you are in board of number of company and you have now Australia. What do you like to have from Australia in this regard? This is my question.
So one is export possibilities, another is technology transfer. Is there a streamlined way for defense? Because after this defense corridor has been opened up, and since I was earlier 3 months back also connected with one of the defense units, many of these people who are connected with this corridor, they keep asking me, but I have no clue what Australia is doing.
Okay, so
but they say, sir, they opened up a lot of defense production and all. Is there any possibility for export and supplying of technology from their side? This is something which is cropping up, which I am unable to answer.
Okay, so Sampathji, the answer is yes, because the manufacturing of the defense product is in private hand. Government does not do that, okay? And they have full right to do so. They can transfer the technology. My request will be, because as you said, defense is very high level of thing. It's not like you're selling a soap or Coke or something like that. I would need to have a bit of like more understanding and more of authority from yourself so that I can reach out and come back to you.
Sure, Fine, I'll take
it will
your
be my
number
immense
from
pleasure to
Ravi
help
ji,
you.
We will coordinate.
Any other question somebody got?
Thank you, Nitinji. That's the only thing I wanted to know.
We have two Raj here. Maybe one is Raj Nehru and another is Raj from Singapore. If I can see their face, if Raj Nehru is there, please identify yourself and introduce yourself. Raj Nehru, are you there? Just now, two Raj were there and one Raj has left. That who is the other Raj? जो राज है जरा कहाँ से है? सिंगापुर के हो या?
Yeah, Raj from Singapore.
Okay, okay, okay. Raj from Singapore has
रवि
joined.
जी आवाज
Yes,
बहुत कम हो गई है.
मेरी आवाज अच्छा?
No, no, I can hear you well.
Yeah. Okay. Okay,
Okay,
ठीक है.
Mr. Raj. Hello, Raj. How are you?
No, I was thinking, I was to introduce you, Raj, who is the Vice Chancellor of one of the only skill development university in India. But he has not joined. I thought it was he. Okay. In the meantime, you continue. Anybody wants to ask question, please. And Bhagwat Chauhan had raised his hand. He wanted to say something. Bhagwat ji,
Yeah, Ravi ji, sorry, the discussion was going to the other side. But as Yatin ji has said that with the skill there, instead of going through the varies on tap, there's a good opportunity because at the moment, most of the students from India, they can't come here. So there's good opportunity to coordinate with some of the university in Australia and have a campus in India, Delhi or Mumbai. And particularly you can trend like nursing. This is one of the best one I would see that. Because
I agree.
nursing, the medical standard in Australia and India is quite at par. So if you can train a nursing 2-3 years course in nursing in India, they can be easily get absorbed in Australia, and at the moment they can get easily visa also. So that's one of the sector I would say that is very could be quite good, and they can have the training in India and some of the practical training, and they can easily get here, immediate visa support, sir. That was my suggestion, and that's I want to say on it. Thank you, Yatinji. Good. I think I listened to something from you, and that's good. Thank you.
All right, Bhagwati. Thanks for the input, Bhagwati. Anybody got any question, please? If you don't have any question, Raviji, we can wrap it up.
And you asked Malika ji. But there are many new people. What I would suggest is those who have not spoken, if they can in one sentence introduce themselves, it will be very good for us. So I'll just call out the name because I can see their faces here. And if they can unmute and show their camera and introduce themselves, I'll go by the list of participants. From there we will go. Kalpesh Jeevan, जरा अपने आप को कल्पेश जी.
Namaste, Jai Swaminarayan, Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna.
So my name is Kalpesh Jeevan. I'm actually based in Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm actually in the IT sector, so I have an IT company. Specifically, why I wanted to come here was just to let you all know that we're working on a project that is part and parcel of us being Hindu. That's number one. So what we're doing is we're developing the world's first global Hindu app. And the Hindu app has three major factors or three major sectors that we're focusing on. One is a social element where there's features built around that. There's a spiritual element that we've built into the app. And the third part is a business platform. So a business platform that's built into the app. And the idea is to create one platform where every Hindu around the world can connect, whether it's from a social perspective, from a spiritual perspective, and then massively from a business perspective. What it's doing there is that it's going to allow businesses to be able to connect globally, to be able to supply globally, to buy globally, import or export globally, but also services offer globally. And that's what we want to do. And this is going to be something that's going to be one of its kind. It's the first time that something this has been developed, but it's been inspired by two people. Number one, it's been inspired by our spiritual master, who is Mahant Swami Maharaj, and Pramukh Swami Maharaj, who says, in the joy of others lies our own. So we're creating this platform to create unity amongst everyone. And then the second person that inspired us was, of course, Modi ji. Modi ji is trying to unite people, right, in every sector of life, right? And you see that whether he's doing it through business or whether he's doing it through spirituality, through the Ram Mandir.
Ketan ji, thank you very much. We have a lot of people to speak. So anyway, I would like your number so that we'll be in touch. Can you put your number in the chat box? So
Sure.
there is
I'll
some
do that.
person called 135-003-2553. Can he identify himself and show himself on the phone, on the camera? नेक्स्ट इज हाँ, आशा दवे जी ने तो बात किया है, भगवत चौहान का हो गया है, विश्वास प्रकाश राउत, कैन यू इंट्रोड्यूस योरसेल्फ, ट्राई टू बी.
Yeah, namaste. Myself Vishwa Prakash. I am telling from Ahmedabad. I have a business about all the work of finance, account, and taxations. I am doing finance to businessmen and all other persons, those who wants finance. I am doing accounting and tax consultant work.
बहुत अच्छा, धन्यवाद जी.
Okay, धन्यवाद.
Dr. Jagannathan, can you introduce yourself to everyone? After that, Kunj Bihari. Dr. Jagannathan, I think some technical problem. Then Kunj Bihari, please introduce yourself.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am Jagannath from Ahmedabad. I am doing some organic products and renewable energy with Devang Bhai Acharya in Ahmedabad.
Okay, thank you. Khodadad, I will introduce. He is from France. He is in Paris. He is one of our best friends in our various business initiatives. And basically, he's from Bombay. He was connected with so many multinational companies, and he has helped us in promoting some of our cutting-edge technology products to Europe. One of them is the Corona Killer Mask. And he's working with various other scientists who are produce mind-boggling innovations, and therefore he's trying to help them to be marketed all over the world. Khodadad ji, thanks for coming. आप कुछ बोलिए. Can you say 1 or 2 sentences? We can't hear you, Khodadad. Please unmute.
Thank you for this introduction, and it's always a pleasure to join our group. And today's speech was also quite exciting. We are aware also of a lot of initiatives taken by the Australian government, especially because after this threat from China, and it's a fantastic opportunity for India to exploit on this, and everywhere in the world you'll see now India is in a better position. I hope the government and the people respond to this opportunity.
Okay, thank you, sir. Then comes Kuljit Chauhan. Can you introduce yourself?
Namaskar सभी को. Myself Kuljit Chauhan. I am from Mumbai. I am in diversified fields. We have company having network set up across India for traveling. Other than that, we have IT company which is looking after blockchain technology and all that, cryptocurrencies and all. We are basically a group having multi products across India. Thank you so much.
कुलजीत जी, हम लोग क्रिप्टो करेंसी के बारे में भी एक सेमिनार करने वाले हैं, इसलिए आप अपना नंबर दीजिए ताकि उसमें आप भी भाग ले सकेंगे.
जी भाई साहब, मेरा उसके आपको मैंने अभी मैसेज किया है.
ठीक है, थैंक यू. डॉक्टर लीना गहाने, then Dr. Nachiket Deshpande, then Raj from Singapore. One by one. So Leena Gahane.
Namaste. This is Dr. Leena Gahane. I am basically a physicist working with National Assessment Accreditation Council, which is an autonomous body of UGC MHRD. As a deputy advisor, I am working with. Namaste.
Thank you. Then Nachiket Deshpande. Then okay, Raj सिंगापुर से, अपने बारे में कुछ बताइए.
हाँ, नमस्ते जी, मेरा नाम राज है. मैं सिंगापुर में ही अपना व्यवसाय है. कोई भी सिंगापुर में कुछ भी चाहिए, anything you need, just let me know. Company formation, business, anything, we are here to help. Thank you.
Raj has got connections right up to the Prime Minister and President of Singapore. Nachiket, you want to say?
Namaste, Nachiket Deshpande here. I am running a startup in technology space, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality, robotics is our domain. We are mostly working in fintech, medical tech, and recently also in the defense. Thank you.
Okay. Raja Kuppan, then Sandeep Kundu, then Sampath. Sampath ji has already over. So Raja Kuppan and then Sandeep Kundu.
Namaste ji, I'm Advocate Raja Kuppan from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Involved in legal service around and also community service. I'll collect the information from here and share with our friends. Thank you very much, Mr. Yatith Gupta ji, for sharing detailed information of opportunities in Australia. Thank you.
Ruchita Rane. Ruchita Rane.
Namaste, I am Ruchita from Mumbai, and I'm with Raviji in this endeavor of getting people connected so that we can support the theme of Atmanirbhar Bharat in terms of technology transfer and building connects. Thank you so much.
Sandeep Kundu ji.
Just like to add that we are also helping facilitate some of the some support required to Kenya recently through this entire group. It is in its primary stage, but we have been trying to facilitate some movement in the area of waste management. So if at all anybody needs support like that, then we can facilitate that. Thank you.
Yeah, Ruchita ji, you are also connected with PARC. Can you say something about it?
Yes, Policy Advocacy Research Center is a small initiative which is taken, which is under the Vivek Laspeet Trust, which works towards handling policies or making interventions in policies that are existing in India, wherever new policies, suggestions, comments are required, and where it can be taken to better the policy. We are able to carry out a structured dialogue between all the stakeholders so that we can come to consensus and then take it ahead to the level of the ministry so that sufficient change can be brought about. We've been successful in doing so by giving our comments, suggestions for actionable task force formation in the area of oilseed production in India, as well as in the area of pesticide and also in foreign trade policy. So this is a small area where we've been able to successfully bring about the necessary communication to take it to the higher level. Thank you.
Just to tell you that if you want any structural changes in the government of India, they are in a better position than us to make it happen. Then Kundu ji.
Thank you, Raviji.
Yes,
Dr. Rachina ji, your contact, Mr. Dr. Niraj contacted me. Is that in your group?
Dr. Niraj, I have no idea. Ruchita ji?
Niraj Gupta.
Here you, we cannot hear Ruchita ji, you are muted.
Ruchita ji, unmute. Ruchita ji, unmute.
The student, Neeraj Gupta, the student, Sampath ji.
Oh, he contacted me on cultural diplomacy.
Yes, yes, I had asked him to speak to you. Yes.
Okay.
I had asked him to contact you regarding cultural diplomacy. He also spoke to Raju Kuppanji to seek information in the area of cultural diplomacy so that we could, you know, we are trying to put a paper together with, we had first spoken to Raviji in this regard, then we took suggestions from Raju Kuppanji and Sampathji. But
okay. Don't go into details.
Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, others are there.
Raviji,
Sandeep Kundu.
Raviji, I have one request. We used to have our member from Myanmar. Have you had any news from him? He's okay? In Myanmar, Burma.
Myanmar, he has left.
He has left, okay.
He has left this meeting because his wife is in the hospital. So he just joined and then he left.
Is he safe? Is he okay?
He is safe. His wife is also safe. He flew to India for the treatment of his wife, kneecap replacement. So it's okay.
So he's in India, not in my.
He's in India. Yeah. Okay. Sandeep Kundu. are you speaking? Then V. Ramesh. V. Ramesh.
Namaste.
Yeah.
I'm V. Ramesh. I'm from Chennai. We have an electronics manufacturing company. We are primarily manufacturing sensors for physical parameter measurement, and we have now got some good products for farm automation, which is the soil probe and the ambient probe. And we are looking to have opportunities to export these probes, which are used by various companies for farm automation. And we also have some sensing solutions for farmhouse, for warehouse automation also, for ambient condition monitoring of warehouses. So I would be happy if there are any opportunities to export in Australia.
And Khodada ji, you may also talk to Ramesh later, because some of his innovations may be useful.
Yeah. Ramesh ji, if you can send me your catalog.
Yes, please.
Whatever you have, and then we will have a separate talk.
Definitely, sir. I'll get connected to you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Vijay Savarkar ji, आप थोड़ा सा अपने बारे में बता दीजिए. Sampath will be the last person. If I have missed out anybody, please you can introduce yourself. पहले Savarkar, Vijay Savarkar.
Yeah, I am from Vapi, Gujarat, India. I am basically a chemical engineer with 40 years experience. I am in the environment, health and safety area. I am dealing in recovery of chemical from industrial effluent. The effluents, the industrial effluent which has the parameters of total dissolved solids, organic or inorganic, can be, sorry, it got mute, I see.
No, we are hearing you.
Okay. I am unable to start the video, so I was just trying to do that. Anyway, see, whatever impurities are there in the effluent can be recovered in the pure form, which can be sold in the market. We can manufacture to the level of IS standard, as I am in India. So those can be easily sent to market. Only thing is that the TDS level should be high, total dissolved solid level should be high, and the quantity of effluent should be high.
Okay.
So that is the only condition. So we are into recovery of chemical from industrial effluent. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anita ji, Anita Karambalkar.
Namaste, everybody. I'm Anita Karambalkar from Kenya. In fact, it was a pleasure associating ourselves with Ravi ji. Recently, we had a 3 days Kenya-India summit, wherein we had invited investors from India to Kenya. And Chita Madam has associated with us, and we are already working on certain projects. If there is anything in Kenya that you are planning to any opportunities that you are looking forward, please contact. My name is Anita Karambalkar. In fact, now very soon we are having one in South Africa by the end of the month of April.
Has anyone not spoken so far? Sampath ji has spoken. और किसी ने बात नहीं किया होगा, अपने बारे में कुछ बताना चाहते हैं? Anybody wants to say something before we close down? Malika ji, over to you.
I think almost everybody has spoken. Anita ji was the last to join, and then she has said very nicely. I think we can conclude the program unless somebody wants to give some concrete suggestion or opinion about what Yatin ji has spoken today. In just 1 or 2 sentences, somebody can give his opinion.
If anybody wants to be in touch for future such programs, please give your phone numbers. If your contact details are given, then we will be in a position to reach out to you. Okay, then.
I think, yes, we can conclude with the Shanti Mantra. Ruchita ji, would you oblige us with the Shanti Mantra?
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम।
Dhanwad, everybody. Thanks for giving me. I just want to say one thing. Let's make something happen on the ground.
Yes, sir. I think with your support, it will happen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you, Rusaji. Nice to see you after a long
Yatinderji,
time.
I have sent you the phone numbers of the people who wanted it.
Okay, good. Thank you. I will be connecting them shortly.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Abhijit, for all your efforts.
What I was